God. I was in a minicab the other day, and the driver pulled over to pick up another fare because he forgot I was in the back. I'm so socially awkward, I was like, I don't know what to say. Anyway, long story short, it was quite a nice walk back from Heathrow. So this is nice being a theatre. You guys fans of theatres? Love going to theatre, I love it. Tell you what I don't like, plays. Not in it for the plays. I love curtain calls. Combine my three favourite things: clapping, bowing, and pointing smugly at corners of the room. Love it. What an awesome way to finish work, with a curtain call. I don't think it should just be actors who get that. I think everyone deserves a curtain call when they finish work. Like the guy who delivers your pizza, you're like, thanks a lot, mate. Take it off him, shut the door. Bing bong. You're like, thank you, shut the door again. Bing bong, there he is again, this time holding hands with the entire cast of Domino's Lewisham. I'm a mum, just had a baby. I like him. Thank you. Woo, yeah, go me. And my ovaries. Cool. I had a little baby. I like him. I like the baby. I did not like being pregnant. It was not fun being pregnant. I was so confused. Even the words they use. You know, like people say, oh, you fall pregnant. Like she fell pregnant. I didn't fall pregnant. I was face down on a futon when it happened. Like I couldn't have fallen. I was already down. People are like, did you use protection? Well, I had a crash mat, if that's what you mean. Because that is such a personal question to ask someone. When are you going to have kids then, eh? Or my mum's friends. When are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? So personal. Whenever they ask me that, I like to turn the tables. I was like, I don't know. When are you going into a home? But I swear, I knew nothing about sex as a teenager. I think the closest I came to having sex at that time was when I was doing lengths in a local pool and a man accidentally butterflied over me. I mean, I lost my virginity so late in the end that when it finally happened, I wasn't so much deflowered as dead-headed. But I wish I was sexually confident, like in my 20s. Love to be like that. Love to be a player. You know what I'm talking about? Strippers. It's another person. Weirdly, I kind of admire strippers. I would love to be like a stripper. I would love to just be able to stand on stage and own it. Like, know I was sexy. That would be awesome. You know? I would be the world's worst lap dancer. I could not sit on a man's knee and not want to make giddy-up noises. And strip joints, they're designed to be alluring. I challenge anyone in this room, even if you agree with them or not, to walk past a strip joint and a bit of you is not like, oh my God, what's happening? Because they've got like the blacked out windows and the bouncers on the door. There's always a bit of you that's like, oh my God, what are they doing in there? And it's exactly the same feeling as when I was a kid and I used to walk past the school staff room. You'd walk past, you'd be like, oh man, what is happening in there? I mean, it turns out both are full of adults whose lives didn't work out as planned. The thing I find the weirdest about strip joints, if you've ever been to one, everywhere you go, all these big signs, do not touch the women! Please do not touch the ladies! The strippers always say, the fact that the men can't touch us, that's what makes our job really empowering. And I always think, well, that's not really empowering, is it? Because that's the same rule in every other workplace in the country. In a shop and it says, welcome to Tesco's, don't finger the staff. I am a terrible flirt. And not like, oh, she's a terrible flirt, but more like, did she just mention ringworms sort of flirt? I didn't even realise I was going out with my husband for the first, year. I thought we were just friends with benefits, the benefits in question being Orange Wednesdays. I get very worried about offending people. I'm so paranoid about saying the wrong thing, honestly. Like a few months ago. Basically, it was my first night out since the baby was born, and I had a couple of real ales, I had a glass of white wine, which is never a good idea. Honestly, I've never once drunk white wine and not used the phrase, why don't you just dump me then? But we were a bit tipsy. We'd had a couple. And halfway through the evening, my friend was like, oh my God, I've just worked out who you look like to me. And I go, who? And he goes, you look like a young Mary Berry. I was like, fine. She's a good gilf. Okay, yeah, fine. Now, the thing is, my friend is just like Denzel Washington, like identical to Denzel Washington. I was just about to tell him when my stupid white middle-class brain said, you cannot tell your friend he looks like Denzel Washington. You can't do that. Because he's going to think, you're only saying Denzel Washington because they're both black. And just like the Oscars, you can't think of many black actors. That's what he's going to think. He's going to think you're a massive racist. Do you want that? Huh? And then my brain went, yeah, but if you don't tell your friend he looks like Denzel Washington, and by the way, he does look a lot like Denzel Washington, just the same as I look like Mary Berry, and that's not racist to compare us. Like, just like they do look similar, if you don't tell him he looks like Denzel Washington, then you're treating your friend differently because of the color of his skin, and that does make you a massive racist. And I was like, besides, Denzel Washington is super hot. Like, I remember as a teenager, I watched Pelican Brief for the first time. I had a very vivid sex dream that Denzel butterflied over me. So I said to my friend, because I thought in my head, because I'm not a racist, I'm just going to tell him he looks like Denzel. So I said, wow, well, I've always thought you look like Denzel Washington. My friend looked at me like a little bit confused. And he went, that's so weird. Because a lot of people say, I look like Lawrence Fishburne. And I was like, oh, that's who I meant. Of course he's the guy out of Fresh Prince. I am such a dick. Anyway, you have been absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. Good night.